Hey, what is up, y'all? It's TheTacticalRedneck, and today I'm coming at you with some awesome Hell Let Loose news. They finally released a big update, studio update, after quite a while of being somewhat silent. But the first thing we got here is a screenshot of a map, and I'm going to tell you what, man, this map, it looks awesome. And I'll tell you what looks even better than anything that I've seen so far, and you're going to call me stupid for this maybe, but I think the skyboxes that they've shown off in this game so far are freaking just outstanding, and I love them. So the first thing we're going to jump into here is the character models, and I just want to go ahead and read off you guys a quote that they posted. It says, "Fortunately, we've been able to create a workflow that has allowed us to greatly increase the visual qualities of the models whilst also staying within our technical budget. But by using beautifully photo-scanned faces, we've worked with our brilliant character artists and several deeply knowledgeable historical advisors to overhaul the uniforms into their later war manifestations." And I gotta tell you guys now, these fucking character models look outstanding. I don't think I've ever seen character models this detailed. Maybe I have, but for a World War II game, man, these things are just spot on. So as of right now, they've completed the officer and rifleman characters for both forces, and they say they will continue to create different uniform and equipment combinations for each role. But these honestly look really, really good, and I hope you guys are as pleased with them as I am. They've also let us see some of them actually in-game, and I honestly think that some of these textures, besides the character models, you know, just textures that are in the environment, such as rubble and whatnot, are probably some of the best I've ever seen, in my opinion. The next thing they were able to share stuff with us about is animations. So everything that you've heard about or seen in last and previous gameplay videos from this game and trailers, just go ahead and throw all those animations out the window, because they said that they've completely overhauled everything, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. They've also given us a screenshot of a German machine gunner, so I think it's going to be pretty good. The next thing we're moving on to is vehicles, and I want to read off another quote from the page. "Our key focus with vehicles is to implement the trucks and other wheeled vehicles. The reason for this is simple. They underpin the supply metagame and are a key resource in transporting units around the map. All vehicles will have a working gear system, suspension, and physics properties that match their real-life equivalents." So go ahead and assume that the vehicles in this are going to act somewhat similar to like realistic mode in War Thunder, where, say, if you hit an ammo rack in a tank, it's probably going to affect that ammo rack, which could catch fire and potentially explode. So I think that's great. A lot of games don't do this, and I wish they would. Battlefield being a specific one. I know Battlefield 1 took more of a turn towards like hitting tracks and engines and stuff like that, which is good, but I feel like they could do a little more with it. Like with any video game, they said their philosophy in all things is to begin using reality as the base, and then to push the design more towards fun wherever we feel players will struggle. So in light of this, we've altered the horsepower and handling of some vehicles. We want you to focus on choosing clever routes, prioritizing supply drops, and clever driving techniques, not to feel chore-laden and bored. So this is a pretty good approach to the whole thing as well. Project Realities is nice in the sense that you have to depend on vehicles a lot, but I think a lot of times it's kind of boring to drive them, especially tanks that sometimes are slow. But then again, you know, it's realism. If you're shooting for realism, that's the way to do it. But I feel like this is a pretty good approach, and I'm curious to see how they're actually going to accomplish this goal. They've also added small props to different tanks and jeeps. They've added shovels and mostly entrenchment tools. I think that's a pretty good addition. I'm hoping that maybe if you were to, say, hit the back of a tank or something with artillery or anything of that matter, that the tools will actually fly off. It's a long shot, but I'm hoping they'll do that. So now we're going to move on to weapons. They've stated that with the completion of the STG-44 model, we have nearly the full complement of US and German weaponry. Now begins the process of finishing animations, fixing bugs, implementing weapon-specific programming, sound design, muzzle flash design, additional effects, and gameplay balance. The US forces weaponry that they're aiming to put in early access is the M1 Garand, the M1 Carbine, the Thompson, the PAR, M1919 Browning, M1903 Springfield, Colt 1911, Mark II Fragmentation Grenade, the M18 Smoke Grenade, M1A1 Mine, M2 AP Mine, Bazooka, and the M3 Fighting Knife. The German forces will have as follows, and please forgive me if I do butcher any of these names: the Kar 98K, the Gewehr 43, MP40, STG 44, MG 42, Kar 98K with an 8x scope, the Luger M43 Stick Grenade, M39 Smoke Grenade, Teller Mine 43, the S Mine 35, the Panzerschreck, and the Feldspaten, and I'm assuming that's some type of knife or shovel. I don't know. And last but not least, we're going to go over the roles that they are hoping to have in the early access version of the game. They also stated they have recently added 2 new roles, the Automatic Rifleman and the Flamethrower, which we will go over in a second. But our first one is the Officer. The Officer role works currently as intended for all spawn deployment mechanics and initial loadout. The current aspects that are not yet complete are officer-specific map markers and smoke grenades. Next we have the Rifleman. The Rifleman role is largely complete with the primary weapon and grenades all working. The Medic. The pistols for both teams are almost complete. The Medic system is underway with bandaging working for all roles. The morphine model for the US is complete with the German one underway. The bandage model is complete. We'll need to tie in animations for both, but functionally they are almost ready pending bug testing. Smoke grenades are not yet complete though. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Automatic Rifleman. The bar is complete, however, we are yet to animate and introduce the STG-44 for the Germans. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Machine Gunner. Both machine guns are in and working, however, we're yet to finish the deployment mechanic and the overheat barrel change mechanics. We also need to add layers of complexity to the FX to introduce lingering barrel smokes as the weapons heat up after sustained fire. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Anti-Tank. Both rocket launcher models are complete and the animations are underway, however the projectile model is not yet done, nor is the exact damage model for vehicles. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Sniper. Both sniper rifles are complete with animations. The last piece of the puzzle is to introduce the proper zoom and scope overlay. This won't take long at all, but it is something lower on our priority list due to the rarity of the sniper role. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Spotter. The spotter functions largely as an officer and so is almost feature complete. We are keen to introduce some unique abilities to the role further down the roadmap. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. Assault. The assault is almost complete, only lacking a role-specific character model. Support. The support role is strange hybrid currently, and we're going to look to add more functionality to it as we test the game. Currently, he'll be able to drop a smaller quantity of supplies in order to allow his officer to deploy cheaper defenses. Engineer. The engineer needs to have much of his functionality finished. He currently is a very basic version of his final manifestation. We will be deciding whether it is useful to include him in the alpha if he remains at such an early stage. Role-specific character model is not yet complete. So it seems most of their roles have been complete other than the character models. But yeah, so essentially, you know, the rest of it is just kind of extra stuff that you guys could read for yourself if you'd like to. I'm super excited for this game. I honestly cannot wait for it. Cannot wait to cover it. Cannot wait to play test it. And I'm hoping everyone else is just as excited as I am. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of medium to short little video with a bunch of information, and hope you enjoyed all the screenshots they provided for us. And if you have not already, please back this game. Just do it. Just do yourself a favor and go back the game. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. It's like Project Reality meets Red Orchestra meets, I don't know, but it's going to be good. Squad. I think I was going to say Squad. But yeah, so I've been the Tactical Redneck. If you are new to the channel, please leave a like, subscribe for more future content, and I guess I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace out.